watching the glorified Flight of Passage video game movie. So, because of that, she's not able to make the show, so she called, Danhausen shirt. I wanted this
cold and open as you can get everybody for a Q&A session. There it is.
Yes, I would gladly wear that probably. It's a regular Danhausen shirt. So you can tell it's like a PWT shirt. Hi, friends.
Welcome, everybody. Or as it currently stands, Bry. Although we've got some Josephine, as you sort of heard at the start, delivered via carrier pigeon or something to Owen directly. So yeah, pop the question. The last Q&A session of the year.
Yes.
We'll be doing plenty more next year, but
including the special QA show, which is going to be on May 1st
for the anniversary.
Get your questions ready.
You got 4 months to think them up.
We got 5 years of stuff to talk about, so
yeah.
And then 10 years of stuff to talk about for everything. It's gonna be crazy.
Hello, I'm Ashley, host with the most, and joining me as ever is Chris, Owen.
I love t-shirts a lot.
And AJ.
Yeah.
Always mix up the order.
Since he cut off my statement, I basically wanted to say I love this. I love Whatnot and the fact that they do these grab bag of t-shirts, and it could be anything, and it's wonderful. $50, you get 10 brand new t-shirts.
Oh, it was a Whatnot grab rather than a... Because I know they do them on Pro Wrestling Tees as well, the Miss Star ones.
Colt did it through Pro Wrestling. I just did one actually that dropped last night. So I got another one on its way because I'm going to get these every single time because it's totally worth it. But the thing is, the gamble's worth it because I have a lot of good shirts based on it. A lot of kind of based on it. But, it's if you're a wrestling fan and you want to just take a gamble, the Whatnot streams where you can get the grab bag shirts, go for it. It's totally worth your money.
So, I'm trying to work out why Bry has singled this out. Because Bry has said, minus the 4K release of Mildred Pierce, thoughts on the Criterion releases for March. I'm trying to work out why we're singling out Mildred Pierce here.
Is it just the conversation we've had about how unnecessary 4K is?
Oh, I see. Is that what it is?
AJ, you can't say that. The YouTube generation loves to film in 4K. Technically, we're doing it right now.
Yeah, and it's
I only go up to 360p, young sir. I don't have a good computer.
Or stable internet, but that's beside the point.
It's stabler than it was. I did a speed check. I've got hell. I even need to put in the new router, and then apparently the speed will double.
Very cool.
I need to refresh my memory on what the March Criterion releases are. I know.
March 17th is Mildred Pierce. March 14th is John Woo's Last Hurrah for Chivalry. March 21st, the one I'm probably looking forward to, just because of how crazy the 2-disc set was when it came out in launch. David Lynch's Inland Empire. And then for the 28th of March, Joan Micklin Silver's Chilly Scenes of Winter. That's an interesting mix.
I don't have very strong opinions on these because most I'm not completely familiar with, and I didn't really take to Inland Empire the way I do. I know Inland Empire is peak Lynch being Lynch.
Yeah.
It might have been proof that sometimes Lynch can be a little too Lynch. But
So the
I mean,
awards.
that's okay still.
Yeah.
But it's as far as how it is for you, the individual person, is another story.
Mileage may vary based on person.
Yeah. So, Brian's awards game that he was teasing us last night with. Pick the best director of the best picture nominees that didn't make it in for director at the Oscars over the recent years. So, we start with 2009. We have John Lee Hancock for Blindside, Neil Blomkamp for District 9, Lone Scherfig for An Education, the Coen brothers for A Serious Man, or P. Doctor for Up.
I think we almost unanimously could probably say it at the same time, can't we?
Wait. Let's try it. Who's counting?
All right. Ashley, count us down.
3, 2, 1.
The Coen brothers.
Neil Blomkamp.
I was gonna say.
What?
Yeah. I was gonna say Blomkamp.
I was thinking about Scherfig too, and you knew I was.
Brother, what's yours?
District 9.
Yep.
God damn it.
Yeah, you're outnumbered 3-1, Owen.
I would have said Blomkamp.
What else
because-
is new?
I almost said the Coen brothers, but it's like I think I've got to, because what I was trying to do was not think about Blomkamp's other stuff. I actually kind of like Elysium and Chappie,
I like Chappie a lot.
but it's like, I mean, when you
Elysium
think
is
about what
okay.
District 9 is, when you think about District 9, it's like a whole different monster, literally.
Sure.
The fact that it
I like that
starts out
idea.
like
I think
a-
that'll be fun. Let's all do the Ashley do the countdown and Ashley, what's your answer is also Blomkamp.
Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
because of just because of sort of how it sort of was like found feature style thing for like the first little bit of it, and then it transitioned into like an actual like interesting story that we hadn't seen too much of at that point. Like
Okay.
actually seeing somebody become the alien, if you will, which was very
Okay.
nicely done.
I didn't want it to sound like I was going after Owen for saying the Coen brothers, because the Coen brothers is an amazing answer. I just think it's funny that you were the one that said, "Oh, we're all saying the same thing."
Because I thought we were, but I completely forgot about how great District 9 was.
For 2010, we have Christopher Nolan for Inception, Lisa Cholodenko for Kids Are All Right, Danny Boyle for 127 Hours, Lee Unkrich for Toy Story 3, or Deborah Granick for Winter's Bone.
This is a tougher one.
It's really tough between Nolan and Boyle, but I kind of want to say that Unkrich is in this also.
Yup, that's the problem I've got too.
Yeah.
I'll say Boyle, actually.
Chris,
I too was thinking Danny Boyle.
Ashley.
I just about edge it to Nolan because for actually sort of semi-original sci-fi, because you know it's very much a copy of like whatever that film is that always gets referenced by either Bry or Joan Chat. But that sort of like, if anything, it's probably the score that sort of just does it. Hans Zimmer and his honking. But it's that much. It's only just above probably Toy Story 3. Probably because of what I know about Toy Story 4.
Once again, I die on a hill alone. Lee Unkrich is my answer. It was the perfect end of the Toy Story series. Toy Story 4 doesn't exist.
Yeah, I would have, if this were still 2010, I would have probably been screaming Nolan at the top of my lungs.
Right?
But as the years have gone on, it's come around to me saying Boyle, I think.
I said it a couple shows ago, and I'm sure Brian is going to remember it, that slowly but surely, as the years are moving on, it's not that it's like shrinking per se, and it's not the respect is still not there, but I feel like the fanboy markdom for Christopher Nolan is slowly but surely kind of misting away. It's still there, but it's like it's definitely lessening as the years roll on.
I think Tenet's a big reason for that.
That makes perfect sense.
Tenet might have been a roll of the dice too far.
This one I think we probably can say at the same time, hopefully.
Oh.
This is a very easy one.
Yeah.
I have another theory on Christopher Nolan. I was sitting here trying to think of a way to put it. Do you remember the joke in Family Guy where somebody was watching Dane Cook on TV and they laughed and they said, "I like Dane Cook. I'm in college."
Yes.
I think for Nolan, it's very similar. I think once you get out of your early 20s, it's not. I feel like Christopher Nolan could be somebody's big break into like a serious, thought-provoking movie, but it's like serious and thought-provoking on a novice level, versus like maybe some other deeper movies. Like you were at the age when Inception came out that you appreciated Inception, but as you've gotten older, you've gravitated more toward 127 hours, which is more something realistic and something gritty. So I think that Nolan will always be popular with like early 20-year-olds. But then I think that would fade away as you get older, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, the problem is Danny Boyle made Yesterday, which totally shut on his career.
What's really funny is the reason that I know you're right is because I used to hear people say that when I was in my 20s, and it deeply offended me. And it's like, now that we are where we are, it's and by the way, we still love Nolan, we do.
Oh yeah, sure.
But yes, that is correct, pretty much.
I mean,
I still, and that's the thing too, is I'm starting to get away from stuff like Inception and The Dark Knight and stuff like that. And I always loved it, but when people say Nolan's name now, the first stuff I tend to think of is stuff like Memento, like the smaller things. I guess you could throw The Prestige in there also.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how it does when we get to, going to his historical stuff again with Oppenheimer in a few months. For 2011, we have Stephen Daldry for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, Tate Taylor for The Help, Bennett Miller for Moneyball, or Spielberg for Warhorse.
This should be unanimous, but I don't know but Ashley's the question mark here.
Yeah, this is pretty easy.
This is
why
I go first and say Moneyball and look like either a clever person or an idiot.
Yeah, it's Bennett Miller.
Yeah.
Bennett Miller's the only answer. Nothing at all is even in the conversation in 2011.
Wait, who all was here? It was Stephen Daldry, Tate Taylor, Spielberg. Who was the fifth one?
That was it.
That's it.
That was all the crossover.
Spielberg.
I'm lost. My answer's Bennett Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Bennett
Miller. I'm a little lost, but I know what my answer is.
I'll go with Bennett Miller, but for me, it would have been anything other than War.
Warhorse?
The stage production
you remember
is so
Warhorse,
brilliant.
Chris?
I pulled an Owen. I'm pretty sure I dozed off through most of War.
I was gonna say. I know I have. So Ashley, are you the only person here that's seen every frame of Warhorse?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Or
I don't know whether that's a privilege or a travesty.
Yes.
I mean, I've also seen like the live broadcast of the stage version, which is way more interesting because you see the intricacy of the people doing the puppet rather than as a horse doing horse shit. Literally.
I don't know what it is, and I hope I don't
Uh-oh.
offend a lot of people with this. I don't know what it is, but anytime there's a horse scene in a movie, I tune out. like I see a horse and I just like start thinking of other things. I'm sorry. I find horses to be boring.
So what you're saying is your favorite horse scene of all time is probably The Godfather.
I won't go that far. But like I'm sitting here thinking, I can't think of any like horse scenes in a movie, like even like Bond movies. Like I can't think of any horse scenes where I was just like hooked.
I've got one.
Okay.
Me too.
Don Johnson's death scene in Django.
Okay.
That's
I'll accept that. Owen, what are you throwing at me?
How is Don the horse in Hot to Trot boring at all?
I haven't seen Hot to Trot, so I can't count Hot to Trot.
You never know. It may come to movie someday.
And are we counting Kingpin? It's mostly stabled, but it's a horse scene technically.
It technically is.
Like for example, like Seabiscuit, I'm sure is a great movie, but the thought of watching it just makes me tired.
Now, I remembered what the most memorable horse scene in a movie is. It's when Terry Funk get kicked in the fucking head by that horse in that WCW.
Yes.
Oh man, I didn't know where you were going with that. I thought you were gonna say like Jackie Mason's horse farting in Caddyshack 2, and I was like, nah.
Also, and you'll notice a trend here. Austin Butler riding back to Spawn Ranch is a cool scene.
Oh yeah.
Tarantino knows what to do with horses.
Okay, I'll go another one too. The scene in Nope where anytime that Daniel Kaluuya is on the horse, there's a lot of suspense.
Yep.
Okay, so there are exceptions, but for the most part, horse scenes do nothing for me. But there are exceptions. And I haven't seen it yet, but for Owen's sake, I'll throw Hot to Trot in the exceptions pile.
It's worth it, trust me.
2012 is a relatively easy one because we've got Affleck for Argo, Tom Hooper for Les Mis, Catherine Bigelow for Zero Dark 30, and Tarantino for Django.
I don't think I need to say it, so I'm waiting for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta go Affleck.
Ooh.
Affleck should have won.
Yeah, he should have. I remember fighting that award season.
Are you do you remember who won that year?
Fuck, it was Ang Lee.
Try to ignore that.
Oh man, Life of Pi is one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. Damn. Okay, yeah, Ang Lee should have won, but Affleck should have been second. Should have at least been on the damn ballot.
No, I think Affleck should have won, but Ang Lee winning, I don't have a problem with.
Oh, and
when I saw that it was out, I am the Affleck guy on this network and have been since day one. But I could right a wrong, or I could right a bigger wrong. So I love Argo, but Django is just too good. Tarantino.
Well, we all also know that Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Bitch, Phantom's like a mofo.
I want to say Bigelow just to piss off James Cameron some more. But in reality, it'd probably just give it the edge to Tarantino.
F that guy, and we need to go to the next theater.
2013. Paul Greengrass for Captain Phillips. John Mark Valley for Dallas Buyers Club. Stephen Frears for Philomena, or Spike Jonze for Her.
This is a tough one. I'm down to two.
For me, it's Greengrass easily. And that snub is still... He was snubbed for fucking Russell, too.
He's not even in my conversation.
Yeah.
I like Captain Phillips, but there's something on here I like a lot more. Chris, what's your answer?
The only one I've seen out of those three is Dallas Buyers Club.
I can't believe you still haven't seen Captain Phillips yet.
It's such a great movie.
There's a day that's gonna come that I'm gonna sit down and I'm just gonna make a catch-up list, and Captain Phillips is on that list.
I am the captain now.
I have officially confirmed there is no movies coming to the theater this weekend, so I have the weekend off. It's going to be nice. However, I will be watching, speaking of Tom Hanks, I'll be watching A Man Called Otto, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and Megan the first week of January.
That's going to be a trippy day.
M3 gun.
And it sounds like there might be just enough room to squeeze in Who Killed Captain Alex.
Commando!
Maybe if you put it in the theater, maybe.
The movie's on!
Ashley,
I mean, they do tour that film, so maybe. If we can get one scheduled.
Ashley, what's your pick?
Ooh.
Time frame. And we're very behind.
Just because of what it does, I just about edge it to Jones.
I'm going to go with Stephen Frears.
Oh, good. We went with all...
Yeah.
We went with one each.
Philomena is so good.
I just realized that 2009 and 2010 were when we had 10, and then 2011 is when we started getting into like 8 and 9. That's why I was confused earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We go back to 4 again for 2014. We got Clint Eastwood for American Sniper, Anna DuVernay for Selma, James Marsh for Theory of Everything, and Damien Chazelle for Whiplash.
Jesus. That's the easiest one we will ever have.
Absolutely.
I was literally just going, oh no, definitely not. No. And then Damien Chazelle for Whiplash.
And the movie that I was championing to try to win actual director that year.
Yeah.
Because I want to throw this out there in case people are wondering. Yeah, first it's a controversial opinion, but the reason I'm so adamant about that specifically was that apart from When They See Us, I do not think Ava DuVernay is a good director. Her projects tend to be either extremely bland or way too outlandish, like A Wrinkle in Time. And so Selma is one of the more blander looking Best Picture nominees we've had in some time. So Chazelle made this very easy.
Chris?
Oh, Whiplash for sure. I haven't seen the other 3, but I find it hard that any of them would be better than Whiplash.
You don't need to. Maybe American Sniper. It's probably the strongest one of the other ones. Ashley. Oh, goody.
American Sniper's just good for the bit where he's cradling the doll. And that's about it. Yeah, Whiplash.
Do I even need to say it? Of course, Whiplash.
2015, we only have 3 strong contenders: Spielberg for Bridge of Spies, John Crowley for Brooklyn, and Ridley Scott for Martian.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Ashley.
I'll probably just edge it to Scott.
Crowley was very much there because I really like Brooklyn a lot. But yeah, Ridley Scott's the answer here.
I was really close to Spielberg, but
Yeah.
then I remember I fucking love The Martian.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
2016.
And the Martian's tone especially is really important. That's another reason.
2016. The 4
This is going to be a tough.
David Mackenzie for Hell or High Water, Denzel Washington for Fences, Theodore Melfi for Hidden Figures, and Garth Davis for Lion.
AJ's got a choice to make. Just like I did a few minutes ago.
Because there's more than you would think as far as choices to make adapting Fences.
Sure.
But I might slightly give it to Mackenzie as far as directing goes.
Chris.
Denzel.
Ashley.
I'd probably give it to Melfi. I think I was more hooked with the story in Hell or High Water than I was with the actual direction.
Yeah, it's David Mackenzie here.
And let's not discount Garth Davis, because Lion
Garth
is
Davis is the only other option I had on here. I love Lion.
2017 for again, Luca Guadagnino. Hang on, I've got to check that the mic's broken again. No. So 2017, we've got Luca Guadagnino for Call Me By Your Name, Joe Wright for Darkest Hour, Spielberg for The Post, or McDonough for Three Billboards.
it's obviously McDonough, but Darkest Hour is pretty great. Darkest Hour is one of those movies that really, really grew on rewatches, and it looks amazing.
I've not seen any of them.
That's gonna be a long list, and I can't wait to help you make it.
The easy answer is Three Billboards.
Yeah, McDonough. 2018. Oh, God. Ryan Coogler for Black Panther. Controversially, Bryan Singer. That's a new name. For Bo Rap Horseman. Peter Farrelly, who should also be controversially, for Green Book, just in general. And Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born.
Owen, hold your anger.
I know what you're gonna say, and I don't. It's fine.
Yeah,
I am the minority of minorities when it comes to that movie. Go ahead.
I'm saying Ryan Coogler.
I know you are.
Coogler.
Ashley.
No.
He's telling us the winning lotto numbers. We'll never know. He knows the cure to Steve Carino. And Colby as well.
What the fuck? I would. It's split between two, but I'd just edge it to Coogler. But I would consider Cooper as well. The other two, get the fuck out of here.
Head or heart, as always. That's what my battle usually is. He got screwed way too much. I'm going with Bradley Cooper here.
I was gonna say I would give the ups to whoever did Live Aid for Bohemian Rhapsody, but I believe Rami Malek said that was the first thing shot, so that must have been Singer.
Yeah.
Ooh, for 2019, we have James Mangold for 4v Ferrari / Le Mans 66, whatever you want to call it. Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit, Greta Gerwig for Little Women, or Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story.
Ah!
I love Ford versus Ferrari so much, but this is, as far as directing, this is Taika Waititi easily.
Yeah. I would say Waititi as well.
Chris.
Chalk them on the list. I haven't seen any of them yet.
Ooh.
Fun story, real quick. So I'm writing Rise of the Resistance. And of course, one of the things is you see Kylo Ren pop out and he like uses the force powers to basically like try to like take you out. And I remember just being by myself in the ride vehicle and saying, "Stop! I'll watch Marriage Story. Leave me alone." And someone in another vehicle just heard me and starts laughing hysterically. I was like, yeah. I love you, Greta, 100%, but it's Taika Waititi. I can't wait for Barbie, though. And honestly, to be fair, I love Ford versus Ferrari. That movie's fan-freaking-tastic.
Yes, it is.
But Jojo Rabbit, it was just something completely different.
For 2020, we have Florian Zeller for The Father, Shaka King for Judas and the Black Messiah, Darius Marder for Sound of Metal, and Aaron Sorkin for Trial of Chicago 7.
Oh my god, I'm erect. That's a great list.
This
That is
list,
such a good
this
list.
sucks. It's so
I was-
good.
I was sitting here going, oh man, I'm gonna say Shaka King because I watched Judas and the Black Messiah again recently, and it is so good. But Florian Zeller, I'm still.
Chris.
The only one I've seen is most of Judas and the Black Messiah, so that's probably what I go with because the parts that I saw are really well done.
Yeah. It was at your place. I was watching on HBO Max, and your wife was on the other side of the room, and just spontaneously she went, "The acting in this is really good." I didn't even know she was watching.
Priceless.
Again, for what it does, Sound of Metal.
Yeah.
I will not die on that hill alone. Thank you, Ashley. Although I really like everything that's on this list.
There's no wrong answer here.
No, there's no wrong answer whatsoever. I really love Sound of Metal, and that's what I'm going with.
You know, trying to get the direction of like trying to make it as if you are hearing what Riz Ahmed's character's hearing, you know.
Oh my god. And once again, the year 2019 is when we started getting to the point that I was able to watch these all in a theater. And seeing some of these in an actual movie theater was just amazing. Especially Sound of Metal.
So really, between Florian Zeller and Martyr, the question is, did you feel more like you were deaf, or did you feel more like you had dementia? Because they both put you right there.
100%. And I love the Trial of the Chicago 7, though.
Yeah. Trial of Chicago 7 is another one that's definitely better on rewatches.
That makes sense.
And then finally for 2021, Sean Heder for Coda, Adam McKay for Don't Look Up, Denis Villeneuve for Dune, Ronaldo Marcus Green for King Richard, and Del Toro for Nightmare Alley.
Well, that's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is. For me, at least.
I mean, I just for the sake of completion, I'm saying Villeneuve.
Chris,
Villeneuve.
Ashley.
Again, I'd edge it to Heder because it was well directing, like actual sort of deaf characters and making it sort of feel genuine. I don't know if we're going to see Villeneuve's peak until we actually get to 2. Because there's a lot of crazy stuff that needs to happen with that.
I mean, do I really even have to say it? Ask anybody that worked with me for the months after the movie came out. Just listen to the soundtrack left and right. Sean Heder. And there's no other competition there. I would say, actually, no. The only other answer I have that would be potential competition is Ronaldo Marcus Green.
Yeah.
Because I really, really liked King Richard. That was on Water Parks Day that I watched King Richard the first time. Where I saw them at House of Blues. Which I'm going to do again in June, which I can't wait.
Do you want to go through some of Josie's stuff?
There's no some of them. I'm going through everything since she took the time.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to cut chat off now.
Shall I do the rest of Bry's other game?
Yes. Mm-hmm. If Brian, you have anything else, we're cutting off chat at 7 at the latest, but but earlier if possible.
Bri, if you want to put the acting thing as quick as possible.
Please do.
So this is looking at the Globes and which is the better winner, be it the comedy, musical, or the drama.
Oh, I love these.
So
that's interesting.
We start off from 2000 with Gladiator or Almost Famous.
Almost Famous.
Almost Famous.
I'm just by a very, very, very tiny margin. I might say Gladiator, but it's a very small margin.
I'd probably just edge it to Gladiator as well. But they're both strong. It's not like it's obvious one or the other.
Rapid fire on the answers to these ones too, everyone.
Moulin Rouge or Beautiful Mind? Can. Moulin Rouge.
No honor.
Moulin Rouge.
Chicago or The Hours? Chicago.
Chicago.
I'll say Chicago also, but I really like The Hours too.
Chris.
I'll say Chicago.
Lost in Translation.
Next.
Lost in Translation or Return of the King?
Lost in Translation.
Lost in Translation. I hate the Rings movies now.
I'll say Return of the King.
I'll say Lost in Translation because Two Towers was better. Sideways or The Aviator?
This is a tough one.
Sideways.
Yeah, I love Sideways, but for me it's The Aviator.
I love The Aviator, but for me it's Sideways.
Sideways is one of my top 10 of all time. I have to go with it.
I saw The Aviator, but I remember
Still can't previewing that movie sitting with McDonald's in the aisle away in the theater.
I saw The Aviator, but I remember Sideways. So
I can say that about a lot of movies, Ashley.
Walk the Line or Brokeback Mountain?
That's a tough one.
I really like Walk the Line, but Brokeback's a beast all in itself.
I'll go with Brokeback.
Yeah, I'd say Brokeback as well.
I like Walk the Line a lot, but yeah, Brokeback is something unbelievable, and I cannot forget the story. We're watching the movie, me and my ex at the time, and our friend, and there's this one guy in the theater, and he is super uncomfortable at this point, and all he's doing is like mumbling and like shaking and everything, and he just gets up and leaves, and we never see him again. We're 15 minutes into the movie.
He must have been the guy sitting next to me in Doctor Strange too.
Probably. All three of us had a nice little laugh at Applebee's that night after the movie was over.
Dreamgirls or Babel?
Babel.
Dreamgirls.
I haven't seen Babel, but I did like Dreamgirls.
I'd give it the slight edge to Dreamgirls. Just about.
You don't see what's coming up, AJ.
Oh, Bry's gonna keep his acting better for next time. Yeah, so this is Sweeney Todd or Atonement.
It's odd, but Atonement's great. It really, really is.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd. I do like Atonement though.
I just edge it to Atonement. Maybe because I've seen like the stage production from the 70s. Angela Lansbury cannot be beaten. Sorry, Helena Bonham Carter. Vicky Cristina Barcelona or Slumdog Millionaire?
Slumdog.
Slumdog.
Slumdog, yeah. The Hangover or Avatar?
What's happening?
What was that?
The Hangover or Avatar?
Owen, I can't wait to hear your answer. Well, I'm going to say Avatar because I rewatched the first one before I went to The Way of Water. And everybody's like, oh, it's so unmemorable, and oh, you need the theater in 3D for it to be any good. No, I still found that I really like the first movie. I think that's just a me thing because Gravity's the same way. Where I'll watch Gravity on TV anytime, and it's just as good to me. I don't need the theater and the 3D to love it that much.
I enjoy The Hangover more, but the better movie is Avatar.
It's got a shit story. So then you're still wondering which one I'm talking about. But just for the visual work that existed at the time, I just about edge it to Avatar.
It's like Hitler versus Stalin, basically, for me.
Jesus.
You have the worst comedy of all time versus one of the most overrated pieces of garbage I've ever seen in my life. I hate them both. I want to recount.
So wait a minute. Tyler Perry exists, and you think The Hangover is the worst comedy of all time?
I hate it that much. And I do not think a rewatch would help. Thank God almost everybody that deserved to move on to good things went on to good things. And the ones that didn't, their careers died off in garbage that they still are in to this day.
I'm not sure who the latter is.
Kids Are All Right or Social Network? Social Network.
Do I need to say it out loud? I don't know.
I mean, I said it for you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Chris,
Social Network.
The Kids Are All Right is
The Kids Are All Right is good.
Yeah.
Kids Are All Right is good. I totally agree. But yeah, The Social Network is a groundbreaking piece of cinema.
The Artist or The Descendants?
Ooh, this is a tough one.
For me, it's The Descendants.
The
But
Descendants.
I'd say Descendants.
I appreciate the artist for what it is, but it's The Descendants.
Yeah, I'd give it to Descendants.
I love The Artist. I watched The Artist way more than I probably should have. That being said, the answer is The Descendants.
Because I don't remember why, but we watched The Artist a lot when it came to our theater.
Yes, we did.
We watched it like 3 or 4 times in quick succession, and I just kept thinking, if I hear and see that Pennies from Heaven montage one more time, my head is going through a wall.
That's super fair. Oh no.
2012? Shit.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Les Mis or I'll Go Fuck Yourself?
What was with Argo?
Les Mis.
Layman.
I will say Argo.
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 Les Mis has got some really strong scenes in it, but like when you add it all up, it is kind of a mess.
And I'll be honest with you, it's one of the only times I didn't want to hate Russell Crowe. I know that's a very divisive statement, but
I will defend Russell Crowe and Les Mis whenever it will come up one day in a video, and I will do that.
There we go.
He is Java. American Hustle or 12 Years a Slave?
12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, 12 Years a Slave.
I haven't seen 12 Years a Slave, but I would, just based on what I've heard, I would go with it. Plus, American Hustle for me was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
I was the only person with any faith in that movie. And every time I will bring it up, I have never failed so hard in an award season than when I put all my chips on American Hustle. But 12 Years a Slave is just amazing.
And I still think Bradley Cooper's brain needs to be like studied and observed to figure out where the hell that performance came from.
It's fair.
Well, this is an easy one.
Yeah, I'm about it.
Grand Budapest Hotel or Boyhood?
Grand Budapest.
Grand Budapest.
As time goes on, I love Boyhood more and more, but Grand Budapest is Grand Budapest. Let's be real.
Revenant or Martian?
Oh,
that's a tough one.
For AJ.
I mean, I know I'm gonna say The Revenant, but I've made it clear how much I love The Martian.
I loved The Revenant, but I have to go with The Martian.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer.
I'll Dev Patel inadvertently tonight.
What about Dev Patel?
He's involved in a lot of movies we've discussed tonight. in the either ors. He's a part of a ton of them.
I was confused because he's not in The Revenant of the Martian, so.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm making a statement.
I'd probably just about edge it to Martian,
The Revenant.
but I like both. Well, this one's gonna cause problems for Owen, for obvious reasons. La La Land or Moonlight?
Moonlight, all day, every day. The Oscars were right.
Never happened.
I haven't seen either one.
Ashley.
It's like 50.1% Moonlight and 49.9% La La Land. But like, they're really like. I just edge it to Moonlight just because it felt like it wasn't a stereotypical depiction of gay love that we'd seen a lot of over God knows how many decades in Hollywood.
Agreed. Don't get me wrong. I really, really, really like Moonlight a lot. But I gotta stick up for La La Land here.
Lady Bird or Three Billboards?
I have no problems with Lady Bird, but obviously Three Billboards was the best movie of that year.
I haven't seen either one, but I am more interested in watching Three Billboards.
Yeah,
Three Billboards. But I liked Lady Bird too.
Oh God.
That's how I'm going to start answering these. If I haven't seen any of the options, I'm just going to go with the one that intrigues me the most to watch.
That makes sense.
Don't have many options left, so go ahead.
What?
This is one point where I want my mic to break. Green Book or Bohemian Rhapsody?
I would say, for me personally, oh damn, they're like dead even for me, honestly. I get more. Bohemian Rhapsody gets more of a rise out of me, I guess, because of the Live Aid scene and the scene where they're building Bohemian Rhapsody as a recording are scenes that are better than anything in Green Book.
I like them both pretty equally, so I'm just going to pick Bohemian Rhapsody just for the reason that when I watch it, I get to listen to Queen.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason I'm saying Bo Rap Horseman.
When I finally got to watch Green Book, when I did our wrap up of that year, where I rewatched the stuff that I had yet to, and then we did commentary on it. Realized how much I love Green Book, and I talked about it for way longer than I thought I ever would. But I'm not going against Bohemian Rhapsody either. Rami Malek is just amazing in that movie.
I love the "We Will Rock You" montage, like building that song and then the montage that follows.
Oh yeah. And then another easy one.
Yeah. 1917 or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Tarantino.
Even if I hadn't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I would pick it because 1917 just doesn't look appetizing to me at all.
I was just getting ready to ask, are you still anti 1917?
It doesn't quite give me War Horse sleep vibes, but it definitely gives me might be a little bored vibes.
I think you'd like it a lot more than you like War Horse. I will say that.
Okay.
Even I will agree on that.
It's got interesting cameo scenes rather than somebody bumping into a horse.
Either way, you're going to run into Cumberbatch. It's inevitable.
True.
Wait, I'm trying to think.
I don't even need to say it.
No, Firth wasn't in War Horse. Trying to think who else was in War Horse as well, because I think there was at least another one.
Unless Andrew Scott was, that's the only other person I can think of that could have been. It's alarmingly quiet. Are you still with us?
Go ahead, Ashley.
Borat subsequent movie film or Nomadland? Borat.
Say Nomadland. I thought Borat 2 was kind of underwhelming.
I'd be more intrigued to watch Borat.
Everyone knows how my hatred for the documentary that won Best Picture, so I'm definitely going to go with Borat.
I'm going to say this, though. I think the only reason Borat 2 was so underwhelming was because there were no surprises, because everything he did in it already made the news before the movie came out.
Right.
So it's like you already knew everything that was going to happen. So that's probably why.
And then as I quickly grab my dinner, the final one obviously from last year, Power of the Dog and West Side Story.
Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog intrigues me more.
West Side Story didn't need to be made. It existed perfectly in the 60s, man.
So coming next time, there's going to be the Globes acting battle, 2000 to 2021. And Brian also chimes in saying Benedict Cumberbatch was in both War Horse and 1917.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the Pop the Question this week is a tale of two of our biggest, most loyal watchers and listeners. We've had Brian in the first half. Now we got Josie now. So if you were watching last night, we have a really awesome viewer by the name of Josie or Josephine that basically took the time to send me questions, and also she does little factoids about movies and things like that, really cool things like this day in history, things like that. And I have all of that. Now we're going to go through that. So thank you, Brian, for everything you provided tonight. If you want to chime in for the rest of the show, you're more than welcome to. Now it's Josie time.
Yeah, now that we've established that, and we love them, obviously, just a quick shout out. Hopefully Spencer's okay. Hopefully he's just busy.
Yeah, Spencer, Gabriel, Mr. Top Hat. There's a lot of viewers we haven't seen in a minute, so hopefully you're coming back for the Oscar coverage, because we're going to be neck deep in it real soon. All the award shows and all the videos and podcasts we're going to be doing, you're going to get so much content. So I read verbatim because that's what I do. Hi, Owen. Given that I'm seeing Avatar: The Way of Water today while the podcast is going on, sorry you have to watch the video game, I decided to send you my questions and trivia for Q&A via Twitter. Very cool. She said I watched Knives Out with my mom, Aunt Kateri, and Uncle Joe on Christmas Eve. We loved it. We're going to watch The Fabelmans tomorrow.
Nice.
Fan-freaking-tastic, Josie. Before leaving to Nevada, my brother and I went to Best Buy, and he got me Arrow 4K of RoboCop.
Nice.
And now we get a little bit of a confirmation on a little bit of commentary on RoboCop. It says apparently most shots of RoboCop in the police car show him getting out of preparing to get in. Peter Weller didn't fit in the police car in the full costume. When he needed to be in the car, he wore the top part of the costume and sat in his underwear. Maintaining the illusion that RoboCop wears the entire suit while inside a car, most shots only show his robotic feet exiting first. Screenplay was offered to and rejected by virtually every big director in Hollywood before Paul Verhoeven got a hold of it. He threw it away after reading the first pages, convinced that it was just a dumb action movie. His wife Martine read it all the way through and convinced him the story was layered with many satirical and allegorical elements, leading Verhoeven to direct the film. Writers and producers were concerned that cops would be offended by their portrayal in the movie. On the contrary, they loved it. It's like when all the local cops in Vienna were watching Super Troopers left and right. And I'm sure it didn't happen just there. They especially enjoyed the scene where RoboCop throws Boddicker through 3 panes of glass window while concurrently reading an abbreviated rendition of his Miranda rights.
What's really funny is a lot of this is familiar because I watched RoboCop at my brother's place last year, and I didn't know until the movie was over that he had never seen it before.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, right after that, we went to dinner, and while we were at dinner, we were going over the trivia on IMDb.
Nice. First time watches since last? Playtime, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, That Thing You Do, Surviving Christmas, The Day Trippers, and Shop Around the Corner. Toddy's Playtime has some of the best production design ever. I want to walk in that world.
Yes.
We got Surviving Christmas trivia.
Oh, God. I love that we already shot on. Didn't we shoot on this recently?
Yes. You guys did. I just kind of sat there. The production was shot without a completed script. As a result, there were many delays in our...
It makes perfect sense.
Over what to shoot, Gandolfini admitted in a behind-the-scenes interview that most of the film was improvised. I buy that. Favreau was offered to direct, but he made Elf instead.
Good call.
Very cool. Gandolfini was 10 years and 2 months older than Christina Applegate, playing his daughter in the film. One of 2 competing Christmas-themed movies released in late 2004. Christmas with the Cranks, released a month after Surviving Christmas, was originally going to be called Skipping Christmas. I remember hearing about that. The name of John Grisham's novel upon which it was based. Out of concern, the audiences would be confused by the similar sounding titles. The producers of Christmas with the Cranks changed the name. Said, I finished reading Christmas Village and the Christmas Mouse by Miss Reed. Yes, that is the author's name. Imagine if inflation at the North Pole to the point where candy cane prices were at an all-time high. The elves in the North Pole are priced out to the point they have to live in igloos.
So are igloos the cardboard box of the North Pole?
Apparently. Okay. Question time.
No, my brother just took a bathroom break. He just sent me a message saying that's where he was going.
Okay.
He should be right back though.
Question time. AJ, is there a criteria for the naughty and nice list? Take a shot.
I was actually thinking about that the other day when we were watching the Santa Claus, and that's the scene where he's walking down the sidewalk and he's saying like naughty and nice as everybody comes by.
Sure, I remember that.
And it's like, I guess the question is like, what is like the final straw? Like how naughty can a nice person be before they cross over? Because even though Christmas movie is depicted this way, surely the people on the nice list are not literally perfect. I would not think so.
No,
then it literally becomes a heaven and hell conversation.
Basically. Congratulations, you've now revealed the truth. Santa Claus and Jesus Christ are the same person. And there's a bad Santa. There you go.
Well, we get chocolate on both of their holidays, so it's...
Well, I've made the correlation before that Olaf is the devil, so that would fit.
His body's not exactly suited for hell, though.
He thinks it is. I'm gonna burn forever in summer.
I think that's my answer. Is if you're asking me about the criteria for the naughty and nice list, you're basically asking me to have the heaven hell discussion.
Okay. As always, time crunch. Rapid fire answers to this. Chris, is there a criteria for the naughty and nice list?
What do you mean?
That's the question.
What's the threshold that a nice person could be naughty before they get pushed to the naughty list?
I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that. Have you guys already answered this?
Yes.
I
Shit.
copped out. I said you're basically asking me to have the heaven hell discussion.
Still an answer though.
Pretty much. I think you go onto the naughty list if something that you do hurts people.
That's
Like if you're just
fair.
doing something shitty but nobody's affected, I don't think it should really affect you. I think it should be about how you affect people.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm piggybacking on that.
Mother freaker. I have to wait and ask Ashley when he returns in like 7 hours.
Oh, the Amanda Bynes bit from all that. We get to do that. Is that the first time we've made that reference in all the time we've been doing this?
I think so. All right, in the Johnny Bravo Christmas episode, Santa's address was actually 1 Candy Cane Lane. So there's questions and trivia both sprinkled upon this. What if a kid actually wanted coal for Christmas, like for scientific study?
Well, I think if it's on the list, it gets filled.
Yeah, he'd just get it, and he would know that it wasn't for being naughty. I would think if there's other presents spread out. Yeah.
See, if Santa is all-seeing and all-knowing, like we know he is, I would say that, yeah, they would know exactly that this coal was not because I, like, put a rat in my sister's, like, bra strap or something.
Yeah, he could probably just like, tuck a note in a bow that just says this is not for being naughty.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think a note would accompany it.
That would make sense. Would the Polar Express take Metro cards or have their own Metro cards?
It'd be its own. It'd be like candy cane scented or something.
Kind of like the golden ticket from Last Action Hero, but like candy cane scented.
Yeah, something very similar.
AJ, I can't get over your idea of the Polar Express Wi-Fi password being B3 leave. That's hilarious. Oh. Speaking of Wi-Fi passwords, AJ, what's the Wi-Fi passwords for the Double R Diner?
God, something lynchy, and so something that probably doesn't even make sense. I almost said Bob, but
That's a little bit more obvious in that circumstance.
Cherry Pie, only it's Cherry 314.
I like that. Wi-Fi password for the Krusty Krab.
Money.
I was just gonna say that.
It's money.
I would say $ money $.
That seems like something very non-complicated that he would definitely use to keep. No, he'd make it extremely complicated so people wouldn't use all his Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah.
Keep the bandwidth for himself. Like SpongeBob's name backwards or something.
Or just, like the O in money's a 0 and the E is a 3, something easy like that.
Yeah. Password for Good Burger.
Oh man, I feel like this is easy.
I think Kel just made it orange soda.
Wouldn't Mr. Bailey said it?
I didn't say he was the one that originally said it. I'd say I think Kel just made it orange soda.
I was gonna say if it was Ed that said it, it'd be something dude related.
Oh man, I almost made a joke and I backed off of it.
Okay, honestly, you know how everything is, a good burger, a good shake, good fries. It'd just be good password.
That's what I thought too, was good password.
That seems logical, actually.
These are
good good fi.
Yeah. I like good fi.
With, of course, the good fi like this. Good fi. He's like, whoa, I just still gave away the Wi-Fi password. Oh, God, I shouldn't have said that on the phone. Can I take your order? What if Jeff Bezos bought the North Pole?
Nothing would change.
No, I don't think so.
I think AJ, you might not know this yet, but I think it would end up like the Santa Clauses.
Oh no, I still haven't I haven't watched any more since we last spoke. I'm still.
Well, when you get to the end of the Santa Clauses, you're going to be like, yeah, pretty much.
A joke I've been praising in the past few videos now is there's a joke in Violent Night where David Harbour goes to one of the houses and all the presents under the tree are just Amazon boxes.
Yep. Yeah, and as much as I love Billy Bob, I definitely have to throw David Harbour in my list of favorite Santas now.
Yeah.
Violent Night's so good. Definitely recommend. See that in the theater. What is interesting about Christmas movies and afterlife movies? They both have different world buildings on the basis of mystery of the fantastical unknown.
Yeah. I never really thought about them having similar appeal. But yeah, I realized that they kind of give me a similar feelings, come to think of it.
Apart from Ghost Town. That's the exception.
All right,
to the
fictional TV, or welcome back, Ashley.
Yes, I love that Ashley's return statement was to come in and bash Ghost Town.
Just don't back to the house.
Only fair.
We continue with chat. We continue with the Josie portion of Pop the Question. Which fictional movie or TV company would you want to work for? As we know, this is rapid fire, which means you have the first thought come to your mind, go to it, because we're on a time crunch here. So we've got Acme Corp from Looney Tunes, Monsters, Inc., Virtucon from Austin Powers, Cyberdyne, The Bluth Company from Arrested Development, Initech from Office Space, or Spotswood from The Efficiency Expert.
Say Acme. It seems the least dangerous and the least soul draining.
I wouldn't call it the least dangerous. What happens when people are doing product testing around you? You could walk into your office one day and all of a sudden you just fall in a hole. I could totally imagine that.
Well, there's no consequences in a cartoon world, though.
It isn't Roger Rabbit.
Not entirely.
That's fair. So your answer is Acme.
Yeah.
Chris.
Cyberdyne.
Cool. You're taking your life in your hands, sir. Ashley.
I'll probably say Monsters, Inc. Because
I would have until it became a cult.
Most of them seem friendly enough. I mean, my real answer is the French Dispatch. But, you know.
I like that answer, actually. I kind of want to say Initech, but I feel like I'd be stuck in that office for the rest of my life. Until it was blown up, of course. So, yeah. AJ, I'll go to work with you in Acme. She does mention that Spotswood from Spotswood, aka the Efficiency Expert. I think Spotswood title is better than the Efficiency Expert. What's a movie with a better take a shot? What's a movie with a better title in its country of origin than its U.S. title, and vice versa?
Is there another country? Well, you said country of origin. That I don't really know that. I know different alternate titles just in general that I prefer.
Right.
The first one that comes to mind is The Ninth Configuration and Twinkle Twinkle Killer Kane. I much prefer the latter.
I prefer Live, Die, Repeat to Edge of Tomorrow.
Hmm. I'm still gonna stick with Guardians of the Gahul. I don't know why. It's always something stuck with me.
I would say Zootropolis is better than Zootopia because it's based
I
mainly in
agree.
a city.
It makes more sense. And we move on. Let's see. Your favorite parent-teacher conference scene or school parents' day scene in a movie, if you could think of one. Long story short, a scene where a teacher talks to a student's parents. I think of the parent-teacher conference in Freaky Friday, the scene in Matilda where Miss Honey visits while Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood are watching wrestling, and Crazy Stupid Love.
The David Allen Greer segment of Tales from the Hood.
Cool. Yes.
I do like the Matilda shout out though.
I would say Matilda as well, but I'd go with the musical version. I think Andrea Riseborough and Stephen Graham do a slightly better job than DeVito and Perlman.
Chris?
I'll go with Matilda because I'm sitting here trying to think if there's anything else and nothing's coming to mind. So I'll just go with Matilda.
Just gonna go with Johnny Darko.
Mm-hmm. That's a strong one.
Oh yeah, when she talks about when he told her to shove the book up her ass.
Yep. Let's see. Favorite
Would you
restaurant?
count Ed Rooney's phone call to Ferris Bueller's mom?
That probably counts.
I'd say that's close enough.
Reznor and Ross score.
Favorite one?
Yeah.
The Social Network.
Yeah.
Social Network. Patriots Day solid though.
Yeah.
That movie is way forgotten and it shouldn't be.
Dragon Tattoo as well.
Oh yeah, I love Dragon Tattoo.
Just for the version of an Prince song.
James Horner.
Is it too cliche to say Titanic?
No.
I'll go with Titanic as well.
God, he has a long filmography. Ashley.
I'm gonna get his filmography. Because I don't want to say Titanic because I didn't sort of really think of that one, but I'm trying to remember what he did do that I would probably know and I just don't know off the top of my head.
You know what? I'm just going to cut out the middleman and continue to defend and go with The Amazing Spider-Man.
The more I hear it every year, the more inspired his Grinch score becomes to me.
Considering where I work, yes, I agree.
I just checked his filmography as well, and I think I want to change my answer from Titanic to Braveheart.
I'd say
That's a
Apollo
good one.
13. Apollo 13.
That would have been my next guess, actually. Favorite motorcycle in a movie?
The Bat Pod. I can't give another answer.
I might have to say that also because that whole everybody says all the great things they do about the Dark Knight. One of the best things about the Dark Knight is that scene, like the scene where it's born and then to the truck flipping.
The fact that it's part of the Batmobile is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the tumbler literally gives birth to it. And then self-destructs.
But I also can't discount Adam West because it does have a sidecar.
Yeah, the Bat Cycle for sure. Because I'd be riding in that car.
Technically, it won an Oscar, so Wallace and Gromit's bike and sidecar from a close shave.
Yeah.
Dang it. All right. Who would win in a motorcycle race? The T1000, Ethan Hunt, Nick Cage from Ghost Rider.
I thought we were just talking Nick Cage in general.
I know, and I would have considered that.
Put a pin in that
Steve
one.
McQueen, The Great Escape.
Ooh.
Well, I would say Ghost Rider. No, I wouldn't. I would say the T1000.
Yeah, because 1000 can find a way to cheat.
Yeah, because my brain malfunctioned. I was gonna say because Heat is the only thing that can beat the T1000, but no, Heat's what brought him back.
Ashley.
The real answer is the Biker Boys. But I probably have to just edge it to T1000.
Ethan Hunt's insane. Ethan Hunt's always been insane. And I really think that one way or another, he'd find a way to win that race.
I would buy it more if it was Tom Cruise than if it was Ethan. If it was Tom Cruise himself,
They're Tom Cruise against Nick Cage on motorcycles.
Tom Cruise seems more inhuman than Ethan Hunt, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Having not gone to the IMAX to see it, just seen it on YouTube, the whole mini 9.5 minute sort of making of like the bike jump to the parachute off it is incredible, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing at age 60, Tom? God damn it.
Okay. So we go on to the next question. Favorite toast scene in a movie? Someone giving a toast at an event.
Oh, easy. So easy. Steve Buscemi and The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
By far.
But even though I know how burnout you are of him now, back then, you cannot turn away from old school.
I'm trying to remember a toast scene in Old School.
It's another Ferrell scene.
Oh, am I blanking?
Well, while you're trying to remember that, I'm going to say Rocky's birthday party from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's a good one, too. Yes, during the wedding.
Because that's one where shit goes down.
Famous toast from movies.
Oh, I forgot his bloody character name. Bardem and Bond in Skyfall.
What? Is that the name you were trying to think of?
Yeah. I can't remember Bardem's character.
Raul Silva.
That was it, Silver. Yeah, Silver and Bond's toast that turns to, oh look, you can't shoot.
Next, final question. Favorite zoo scene in a movie? First thing that comes to mind for me, baby, just take a shot. Baby's Day Out.
Is it bad? The first one that comes to mind is Goodfellas. When they were gonna feed the dude to the lion.
I don't know. My first thought, I started thinking about Madagascar.
That's a good one.
Zeus, as in the wrestler, or
I heard Zeus too the first time. Then he said Baby's Day Out, and it was like, oh, Zoo.
oh,
We should.
trying to think. Zoo.
My favorite mention of a zoo in a scene is basketball.
Are we going to the zoo?
Ace Ventura.
Yeah. That's a good one.
The zoo scene in Ace Ventura.
Oh man, the end of Anchorman has to be mentioned too.
Anchorman is my answer too.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, that might become my de facto answer. To be fair, I forgot
I
about.
don't know. A-Will's up there.
What's that?
Can't forget A-Will. A naked American man stole my balloons.
Oh, American Werewolf in London.
Yep.
Oh man, the end of Batman Returns takes place at a zoo also. Damn,
Also
it's
correct.
harder than I thought.
Oh yeah.
Split.
I'll stick with Anchorman just because of the continuity error with Keaton's eye makeup. I can never unsee it.
No one can.
So I got distracted by chat.
The sad thing is about that is thanks to Ezra Miller and his antics, that's probably the last cinematic shot I'll ever get of Michael Keaton in the Bat mask. And that pisses me off.
Even if it makes it in. Thanks to
Come
James
on.
Gunn. Ravi and Serrano are asking what are our thoughts on Lionel Messi.
Isn't that an athlete?
That is
He's
a
a
soccer
soccer
player
player.
that won the World Cup.
Yeah, I have absolutely no comment.
Yeah.
He's some guy that I see promoted by the Hard Rock all the time.
He's just
He
a
has his own
man.
bird. And
If you need to know why I said no comment, I literally just asked, is he an athlete?
He's just a man with a man's courage. He knows nothing but man. Oh wait, Flash Gordon.
I'm not a sports guy. But thank you for coming in and asking the question.
What is your favorite TikTok trend of 2022?
When it dies,
The only thing that I like substantially from it is that random Louis Theroux rap that he did on like one of his shows 20 years ago being resurrected and now actually becoming like a hit record. So Louis Theroux does everything. He does
There's a
both.
TikTok channel I watch where there's this giant shredder and they just throw random stuff into it and I can't stop watching whenever I click on it.
Is that the
They
extreme
throw like
version
ping
of
pong
Will It?
balls, golf balls, Legos, all kinds of
Is
stuff.
that like the extreme version of Blendtex Will It Blend from like back in the day?
I like the episode of that where Laurie Strode guest starred.
So I think that's everything. I'm just making sure that no major like film news has happened in the past hour or so. I
so
doubt
we
it.
end with a little Baby's Day Out trivia.
Oh,
Fair enough.
$50 million budget, at the time unheard of for a film which had no major leading stars in the cast. There were plans for a sequel called Baby's Trip to China. That got canceled.
Is Mantegna not considered major?
Apparently back then, no. I don't see how, but although
He
he
had
normally...
Godfather 3 by then.
I read
What
verbatim
year-
what he said on here.
What year did Baby's Day Out come out? Was it 94?
Yeah, I think it's 94. Godfather 3 was definitely first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess, yeah, technically he's more of a character actor than anything else, but Joey Pants had quite a resume by then, too.
Sure. Although he did not normally enjoy films showing infants or children in danger, Gene Siskel gave this movie a thumbs up.
I remember that review. I remember that review vividly.
Ebert said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." Their sharp disagreement has since become their very popular video. John Alexander wore the gorilla suit in this film to play Digit in Gorillas in the Mist.
Oh, wow.
They had the same suit. Speaking of A-Will, Rick Baker created the animatronics. He made alterations to the suit for the film since the character is supposed to be a western lowland gorilla as opposed to being a mountain gorilla. And the phone number for the baby photo company, 555-BABY.
Does it actually still work?
And that's the end.
I
Jersey-
love so much that was the finale.
555 baby.
Josie, thanks again for using the power of social media to send us all of your comments, queries, and questions to the show tonight. Hopefully you'll be joining us again on Thursday, because we don't do things on this network on Wednesday, for not all 23, not yet, almost, one more week, one more month of the Big 8 Academy Award nomination predictions.
Can I just say to Brian and Josie, I feel like this is one of the more fun Q&A videos we've had for a while.
I agree.
These were amazing questions and games.
Yeah, Brian, I think you found the loophole here. Like I said before, that I mentioned the whole no awards content except on award shows. This is something I'm very happy to let pass every single time. These are fun games. They start conversation. They propel the show, and that's exactly what they're designed for. So thank you again.
Not that what you've been doing isn't great. Just this was especially good.
Oh yeah. And I can't discount Ravi and Sarana either for popping in and asking a few questions for us.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's here, yeah.
We appreciate everybody that comes here and watches the show, whether 5 minutes or all 2 hours.
We're not going that long, yeah.
We're not going to 2 hours.
That's Thursday.
That's more than 2 hours, sir.
So yeah, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll make sure I put it up and tweet it out so Owen can maybe retweet it or whatever.
I gotta work on.
Myself, AJ and Owen will be talking our Big 8 predictions. I guess our final Big 8 predictions, because obviously the next one, some point in mid-January, will be the full 23.
Yep.
But we'll also spend a little bit of time discussing the shortlists.
Oh yeah.
For the ones that got announced. And what
I guess I should finish watching. I started RRR. I guess I should finish it before we get to that video Thursday.
In terms of other content on the channel, Snack stashes are ready to go up, but you might be getting them in sort of January.
Probably.
AJ's got movie reviews. We got the Avatar one coming up. Banshees.
Avatar and Banshees will be together. Yeah.
Trying to think.
Continuing the English.
Are you gonna catch Matilda the musical on Netflix or?
Probably. I just keep forgetting about it,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's Emma Thompson, damn it. She might get a double nod. She won't, but she could. And Chris, I'll let you lead off with the socials because you can pimp out your Instagram and the figures and flippy shit.
Instagram, Chris Hunts Toys. Also started a Twitch that's also Chris Hunts Toys, so I'll be on there here and there, just playing games. If you just want to watch, hang out, enter the chat. Figures and Flippy Shit podcast will start running on Saturdays, except for this week, which will be on Friday. We'll review the week in wrestling. And then we're still looking to make the video change from there. And we're also hoping to do something from the Jericho cruise next month, but we're trying to figure out how we're going to make that work.
Uh-oh.
Their Wi-Fi packages are not the cheapest. I'll warn you up front.
Appreciate the heads up.
No worries. Royal Caribbean is not easy to work with. And neither is Norwegian.
None of them
They're
are.
two of the...
Owen can be found at Sir Owen Disney and at Popcast Network over on the Twitters. I can be found at Ash is my name UK. AJ cannot be found on social media, and just like Keith Richards, also wants to finish with 555 baby. And cannot be killed by conventional weapons. So thanks to Bry, to Josie, to Ravi and Sarana, and everybody also watching on archive. Until next time, everybody. Happy New Year.